Good morning, everyone. I recently started making homemade sunscreen. I made one batch so far. It worked fine, except for I didn't use an immersion blender when I blended the ingredients the first time. So I don't think that the nano zinc properly dispersed throughout the mixture. So I'm gonna try something a little different this time. It's a different recipe, and also I'm adding cocoa powder to it to tint it so that it is not so white. All the ingredients are organic. This is the organic Dutch process cocoa powder that I'll be adding. I'll be adding white beeswax pellets, organic coconut oil, organic shea butter, and then the key ingredient that makes it sunscreen is the non-nano zinc oxide powder. All of these items cost probably, I don't know, $75 to $80 to buy everything, but you can see that there's very large quantities of stuff. So I'll be able to make several batches. The batch I'm going to make today is going to be these are roughly 2.5 ounce tubes. And so I'm going to make a double batch for to fit in these. I think one batch would be like 1 and maybe a half of these. So hopefully I may end up with 2.5 of these actually. These silicone tubes you can get at Amazon, where I got everything else, or you can get them at TJ Maxx. Had this little pack of 4 for $9.99, and that's what I'm going with. I just put them in a cup so that they will stand upright, and I've got this little silicone funnel to pour these stuff in. So I'm gonna get started, and I've got my pot with a little bit of water in there and just a mason jar. I didn't check to make sure this is going to fit. Oh yeah, that's not going to fit. We're going to need a bigger jar. So I will be back. Okay, I'm back. I just decided to go with this smaller. This is what I use for a coffee, so I hope I don't ruin it. Anyhow, I'm going to turn this down a little bit because this is really boiling. So first you're going to put in all the ingredients for your oils and your butters and your beeswax. And then last, after you've melted everything, then you put in your zinc and your cocoa powder. So I'm double batching it. So I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of coconut oil times 2, which is going to be a 1/2 cup. Already a little soft, so clearly it's warm in here. Right. Cup. Put you out of the way. And we're going to do of shea butter. This is not melted. The first recipe I did, I actually used beef tallow instead, which it worked fine. Like I said, I don't think the zinc dispersed properly. So that was my bad, not blending it. I just basically whisked it, which is what the recipe called for, but it needed to be blended sufficiently, and that did not do it. All right, so we're gonna get all this in here. Melt. And the reason reason I started doing this was because my husband, Richie, does a lot of reading about stuff that's good and bad for you, and so does my son-in-law, Michael. And your skin is the largest organ that we have on our body, or for our body, and sunscreen, commercially produced sunscreen has a ton of bad stuff in it for you. So just decided to, you know, I have the ability to make this, and it's just one small thing that I can do that's a little better for me than using the store-bought stuff. All right, so we're gonna put in 4 tablespoons of beeswax. This is so much beeswax, like I could make some candles after this. Okay. I'm gonna turn this back up just a little bit. All right, and so what I need to do is completely melt the ingredients. Then I'm going to take it off the heat and put in the zinc and the cocoa powder. All right, so we're waiting. It's all right. So this is the beeswax and everything is pretty much melted now. It took me I had to get a little wooden skewer to mix it, continuously mixing it. So now that it's melted, I'm going to take it off the heat, move it from the pot. Now I'm going to put in the good stuff. 4 tablespoons of nano zinc. And 2 teaspoons. I may add more of this cocoa powder, just depending upon how dark we decide we want it. I don't want to be white. I was kind of white with the other batch. We were white with the other batch we used. Now I'm gonna use the immersion blender here and blend this so there's no lumps of anything. It's like chocolate milk. I think I'm gonna add a little more cocoa powder just because, like I said, I did another teaspoon of cocoa powder. I'd like for it to be, my hands are a little greasy. But let's blend, blend, blend. Make sure this isn't too hot to pick up. Looks like I got a little bit in the bottom that needs to be. Try to get. So I think for the next go round, I may just put it in instead of a jar, I may just put it in a smaller pot on top of that pot, like a double broiler scenario, and that way I can use my KitchenAid immersion blender. Alright, it doesn't really look like anything's sitting on the bottom. So now, and this jar is not too hot to hold for me anyways. So now I'm just gonna pour it in here. Try to make sure I don't put too much in the thing, it overflows. That one's full. Yikes, I think I just did what I did not want to do, which is put too much. Okay. No worries, that'll come right off. Okay, I'm gonna need a third. I got 3 tubes. It's a little messy on that one. There's actually a little bit still in that other one. There's a little bit left, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in this one. I don't even know if I need that thing, funnel thing. Wowee. Look at us. That's it. This is all you do. Leave the lids off until it cools to a, you know, sunscreen consistency. And then put the lids on and you're good to go. So that's how you make homemade sunscreen. You can already see some of this that's on the outside of the tube is starting to warm up. It goes on nicely. It feels freaking amazing from the coconut oil and the shea butter. Very moisturizing on your skin. So we will give this a try. Hope y'all enjoy it. Bye.